Okay. What's up? Good morning. How you guys doing? Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Hit like on the way in. And okay, you guys can hear me too good. So yeah, this morning is supposed to be this Ethan Crumbley hearing, and this is supposed to be it's a virtual hearing to decide whether he continues his incarceration in the Oakland County Jail or to be moved to the juvenile jail, as his defense team has requested. So in accordance with the law, it requires that minors being held in adult facilities be evaluated each month. The accused Oxford school shooter will appear in court Thursday. So I don't know how long or short this thing is going to be. The live feed hasn't started yet. I only see one feed so far. Which is Detroit News saying they're going to stream it. Trying to see if there's anywhere else real quick. So far, it's the only one. So we're going to wait a little bit and see. Morning. And I am going to clip the video with Naomi and her sister. The phone call from yesterday. I said I was going to do it yesterday. I just got really, really caught up. So today after this stream, I'm going to chop it up and put it on Facebook. Maybe YouTube. I'm not sure. I don't want to use up my notifications yet in case something else happens. So every 30 days, they got to come back. We're still waiting here. And there's something else I could show you too, by the way. In the meantime. Let me just check here. Okay. Okay, I got another one. We got Fox 2 Detroit. Let's take a look and see what they got.
At Sonobello, Fort Lauderdale.
By the way, have you guys heard of Harmony Montgomery, the father's ex-girlfriend, I guess, was found dead yesterday? You guys hear about that? Dreadhead, what's up? Welcome. Hola. Yo, tell me what you guys think about this too. Do you guys like this text? Where's it? Where are we at? Right here? On the screen? I've gotten so many mixed reviews. Some people tell me they like that, some people they don't. Is it like too much sometimes? Should it be smaller? I see like some other creators. I watched Quartering and then Aaron, and they got like a smaller box, which I've seen a lot of people do, like a smaller box on the side, and like the thing is on the side. I might mess around with it sometimes. Some people like it, some people don't. I don't know. I think for the people that are actually chatting, they might not like it because they're already looking at a chat and then they're looking at a chat again. But some other people that are just watching on a TV or just, which most people I think are watching on their phones, or some people that don't chat, they kind of like to see it. But I don't know. I mean, most of the time where am I at? We're kind of like in this view. So most of the time it doesn't matter. When we're sitting here chilling, it's like this. But then I don't know about this area. Smaller, I think. What I'll do is next time whenever I have a chance, I'll work on a different screen and then I'll show it to you guys. And you guys let me know. It's a little large. Okay. I don't love the chat box. I like the chat box. I hate it. I love it. Amazing. We'll play around with it because I want to do little improvements for the live streams, you know, for a better experience. Yeah, Harmony Montgomery. So okay, just the FYI too, we're still waiting. So there's nothing, still waiting for the feed. But Harmony Montgomery. Hey, Brandy, how you doing? Let's do that. Harmony Montgomery. Okay, so Harmony Montgomery's father. Okay, girlfriend of Harmony Montgomery's father. I thought she was the ex, though. I thought supposedly they had broken up. When I was following the story, I did a couple of videos on this. I don't know, I think 3 maybe or something like that. I thought it was the ex. Supposedly they had broken up, unless they lied about that. And it says Kelsey Small, who was not charged in connection with the case, died in Manchester. Police there confirmed Wednesday the cause of death is pending, but it's not considered suspicious. Somebody last night told me that supposedly, and this is allegedly, she was found with drugs or something like that. Some sort of Facebook group said that, and that was my first thought when I heard she passed away. I kind of wonder if she had any information with regards to the case, which is kind of unfortunate that she's dead. So yeah, for the people that have been following that, kind of a little weird update, I guess. Allegedly OD'd in the hotel room. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Oh yeah. Laughing beside you says too many stories to keep track of. I don't know how you do it. I get a lot of times. I sometimes get confused. Like it's a lot of times. I sometimes. How does that even work? Right? A lot of times. Here's the judge from last time. I do sometimes. It's very like I try to have to like, you know, because it is a lot of different people.
Anyone know where she is this morning?
Morning, Ethan.
I will.
Morning, Ethan.
Your Honor, I believe we're all set. Your Honor, I believe we're all set.
Is she going to be present this morning? Is she
I believe she says she's in, so I think we're all set. Thank you.
okay.
Okay, there we go.
All right, let's go ahead and call the case. Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Your Honor, calling the people of the state of Michigan versus Ethan Crumbley, 2022-27950.
I just want to get a comfortable video feed because sometimes these people try to mess with you, mess with the stream. I don't know about Detroit Press, but
Morning.
There we go.
Good morning, Your Honor. Assistant Prosecutor Kelly Collins appearing on behalf of the people, and we do consent to Zoom.
Good morning, Your Honor. Martisha Washington appearing on behalf of the people. And again, we do consent to this matter being held on Zoom.
Good morning, Your Honor. Paulette Michelle Lofton on behalf of Mr. Crumbley. We also consent to proceed by Zoom this morning.
Morning, Your Honor. On behalf of Ethan Crumbley, I consent to Zoom.
And there's two things I want to talk to you guys about after. One, because the Court TV had a thing that came out last night talking about, I think they're saying that supposedly Ethan Crumbley's name can't be used during, was it during a trial? Something like that, during the parents' trial. I don't know. Or testify. We're going to listen to that. And I also had a really interesting question from somebody on Twitter. They felt conflicted about the parents being charged for involuntary manslaughter.
Yes, I'm okay. Okay, thank you. As the court previously stated, today's date and time set for a review hearing under the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act. We are to have a review hearing every 30 days regarding the defendant's placement, whether or not he should be placed at the continue to be placed at the Oakland County Jail, or whether or not he should be transferred to the Children's Village. We did have a hearing on February 22nd, 2022. The court took the matter under advisement and issued a written opinion and order on March 1st, 2022, continuing the defendant's placement at the Oakland County Jail. And today is the review hearing. The court is in receipt of the People's Memorandum of Law following the hearing. Is there any additional information from the people that you would like to place on the record?
No, Your Honor. I believe that the follow-up supplemental brief does speak for itself. And that would be all that we had.
That's it. It's over.
Thank you, Ms. Collins. In defense, are you in receipt of the People's Memorandum of Law following the hearing?
Yes, I received it last evening.
Okay. Is there anything that you would like to add for today's purposes?
Your Honor, there has not been many changes since the last hearing. I know there's an update on the education portion, and I believe Ms. McKelvey is speaking to that.
Damn, that's it, bro.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. McKelvey.
Well, Your Honor, I just need to address one issue in the memorandum from the prosecutor's office as I received last evening. I think it's important for the court to recognize their memorandum still says that it's the parents' responsibility to provide education. And the section of the statute that they're using says, and I'm concerned that they just go over, ignore it, is that it says the child's parent, guardian, or other person in this state having control and charge of the child, which right now, and as of the date of the incident, has been the Oakland County Jail. And I just think it's important to keep that in perspective, because even at our last hearing, there was testimony that everybody believed that it's the parent's responsibility, and it's no longer the parent's responsibility. But with that being said, on Tuesday evening, I received an extensive email from Marianne George she's a senior assistant at Corporation Counsel. And it involved what educational plans that are available that will either give him a high school equivalency diploma or a GED. And the two paths that exist, and I did meet with Mr. Crumbley at the jail yesterday afternoon to discuss all of this, and it's an issue that we do have approximately a month to deal with, as the earliest implementation of anything cannot occur until he is 16, and he will be 16 at the end of April. There are two options. She provided me a list that they are investigating of what they call either strict disciplinary academies or cyber schools. Unfortunately, he cannot proceed with that, which would be basically a regular school day, until the 2022-2023 school year, because as I know, I'm sure the court's aware, and everybody, that twice a year, every school district does, head count, and funding is based upon that head count. And we are past, obviously,
this is live, yeah.
Second semester head count.
Morning.
So for funding purposes, he will not be able to start a full cyber school year until next September, or this coming September. The other option would involve through the Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, he would be able at 16, we would execute paperwork, and as his lawyer guardian ad litem, I can sign it as the court representative to implement either the high school equivalency program or a GED. And additionally, that would, once he has achieved either the high school equivalency diploma or the GED, he then would be able to continue in that program to be able to do some community college courses. Ms. George indicated that she has talked with Captain Vita about being able to provide him his own laptop to be able to have, a certain block of time every day for him to be able to work on that program. And the Khan Academy app that is currently on the tablet, he can use to supplement if there are certain areas that he needs to work on once he takes the practice test. And then she is also working on how to be able to have the actual test that he would have to take to be monitored. So there has been a lot of movement in that, and I appreciate all her efforts. And as I said, I did speak with him yesterday. He is thinking about what path he wants to proceed with, but the earliest that we can start implementing that would have to be after his 16th birthday, which is in approximately another month.
Thank you for that information, Ms. McKelvey. Ms. Collins or Ms. Washington, any response to that?
No, Your Honor. I'm glad that they're making progress with regard to the options that the defendant has available to him.
Thank you very much. And it's so noted by the court. Is there any additional information that any attorney wanted to present before the court makes its ruling regarding the defendant's continued placement?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing from the people, Your Honor.
Thank
No,
you.
Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you to all the attorneys. The court has been presented with a memorandum of law from the prosecutor's office. In summary, the prosecutor's office has been trying to work with defense counsel as outlined by Ms. McKelvey to try to get an educational program for the defendant to comply with the Michigan statutes that he is to continue with education because he is indeed a minor. And it does appear to the court that that has been ongoing and continue to become a non-issue now because it's in this court's opinion, I believe that the parties are working together to resolve that issue. However, the court has not been presented with any additional information or new information that will cause this court to disturb its March 1st, 2022 opinion and order. Therefore, the court will continue the defendant's placement at the Oakland County Jail, and we will set this matter for an additional review hearing / pretrial. We'll treat the next one as a pretrial as well in the next 30 days pursuant to the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act. That next date will be
Thursday, April 21st, 2022 at 9 a.m.
Does that work for all counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. Will that be in person or by Zoom?
Because it'll be another hearing quite similar to this one, the court is okay with doing it via Zoom unless any attorney has an objection.
Not at this time, Your Honor.
No objection from the people, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. I will see you all April 21st, 2022 at 9 a.m. via Zoom. Before you all log off, my last question, actually 2 comments. One, the court still has the binder from the evidentiary hearing. It has been kept under lock and key in my office, but pursuant to the court rule, the court would like to return this evidence. So if the prosecutor's office could send a runner over to pick up the binder, it will be available this morning. So I can return this evidence back to the prosecutor's office. As well as I wanted to inquire, has anyone heard anything from the forensic center?
Yes, Your Honor. Examination has taken place. We are just waiting on the report. I expect it probably will be another 45 days.
Okay, we will discuss this issue again at the next review hearing / pretrial on April 21st, 2022 at 9 a.m. via Zoom. Is there anything else from either party?
Your Honor, does the court intend to issue its own written order as a result of today's review, or should the parties provide something to the court?
Please prepare an order, but for this one, according to the act, it says that it shall be made in writing, but it wasn't clear whether or not each 30-day review needed a writing. So let's go ahead and have a writing just to be on the safe side. So if the parties could go ahead and submit an order with all the attorney's signatures, I would greatly appreciate it.
We will do that, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Anything else?
No, Your Honor. Thank you
From the people, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, everyone. You all have a great morning and great day.
You as well.
Thank you. You as well.
Okay, so they were right. The proceedings is not gonna. The last time we watched it, it was actually pretty interesting, and they had like that person from the juvenile center that they wanted to put him in, and they had people from the prison and all that stuff. But they're not gonna keep, which makes sense, rehashing it over and over and over unless something substantial comes up. So I don't know that we're gonna follow the next one if it's just that, you know. Also, for the people with the whole Harmony Montgomery thing, for the people that have followed that story, that you could type in my name, iCkEdMeL, Harmony Montgomery, or you could just search it. But the articles that the way they typed it is like confusing because it says girlfriend of Harmony Montgomery's father. So people were thinking the stepmother, which is Kayla, right? Yeah. Stepmother. People were thinking stepmother, which is Kayla, but it's Kelsey that's dead. So like I have all these. I'm surprised. I really should follow up more in the story because I had a lot of notes on this bitch. But Kelsey is the one that was in the car. Okay. I don't know why it's just like this though. Please interview Kayla, who said she last saw Harmony in November 2019 before Adam drove her to Crystal's home in Lowell. Crystal is the actual biological mother. And Lowell police also make contact with Adam sleeping in a car with Kelsey Small near Harville, Manchester. Adam gives contradictory statements, stops cooperating with police. I mean, this is like a whole shebang of things, but this woman's dead though, and allegedly because of drugs. And it's not really his girlfriend. I don't know. The news articles are saying that, and it's not just one. It was like there was another one too. Girlfriend of Harmony Montgomery's father. I thought they had separated. That whole thing with that. At some point somewhere in the story, supposedly they had separated because he had like a side piece, I guess, or was it the stepmother I'm thinking of? I don't know. I thought they weren't together anymore. The other thing I wanted to show you was this interesting thing from Court TV. Court TV, and also this question that somebody had posed to me on Instagram and said, hey, question, what are your thoughts on Crumbley parents? I'm torn. I feel if charging the parents and holding them accountable because he's being a minor, but how can they try him as an adult? Can't have it both ways. I guess for the manslaughter charges, the involuntary manslaughter charges. And then this was from Court TV last night. It says a judge has ordered the name Ethan Crumbley can't be used during the trial of his parents, Jennifer and James Crumbley. The Crumbleys are charged with involuntary manslaughter. How would that even work though? What are they going to like put an acronym or something, like an abbreviation, like EC or something? Like, is that really going to do anything? I mean, especially for court. And also, let me. Well, let me listen to what they have to say. I've skimmed through this, but we can watch it together. I'm gonna put it on the smaller screen. But Court TV, you know, really popular. They're on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere.
On closing argument. I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. And you know, in our society today, there are a lot of people who are seeking fame, especially young people. And I'm not saying that it is something bad. I can't say it's something bad, right? I'm someone who spends my hour after hour on television, on radio for years and years and years. So I kind of get it. I kind of understand it. And in the world we live in today with social media and TikTok and Facebook and Instagram.
I am a little conflicted too about that. Like it's a horrible, horrible thing. And they're definitely negligent parents without a doubt. But actually charging them with the murders too. I mean, I understand how like indirectly, or maybe you could argue it directly, but indirectly he did the killing. I mean, no, the family did the killing. I mean, indirectly, but it was actually Ethan that did it. And so you're charging him as an adult. I don't know. And the kid's clearly troubled for sure. He was asking for help and all this kind of stuff.
I mean, there are people that are getting very
Politan looks like a politician.
Famous from coast to coast and around the world. And at a very young age, it is happening. Now, translate that to the world.
See, in this screen that we're talking about, I mean, I'm saying this, but who knows if I'll even do it. But I should. I could make the chat smaller, me a little bit smaller, and this screen down here a little bit bigger. Though this helps a lot of times with automatic copy claims, having a smaller box.
That we talk about every night here on Closing Arguments, the world of true crime, where when you talk about fame, unfortunately, it's usually the killers who get most famous. I mean, take for instance, the most famous serial killer of all time, Ted Bundy, right? This guy, unfortunately, is iconic. You say his name, people know who he is, they know what he's done, and he is famous. He's really infamous, right? More so than famous, but fame came to him because of what he did.
Who's the first person you guys think of when you think of serial killer? Is there a particular person? Or which one have you watched the most documentaries or deep dove into? I mean, I think of I watched a lot of them. I think of John Wayne Gacy. That was crazy. I saw like a documentary, I think on Comcast Peacock. I didn't realize, I mean, I've always heard of the bodies, but when that particular documentary, like in the basement, and what he did to those kids and like all the bodies, I was like, holy crap, like this guy did a lot. I always think of Jeffrey Dahmer. I always think of the Night Stalker, right? What's that guy? Ramirez, right? Night Stalker. Richard Ramirez. What about the Golden State Killer? The way that guy walked into court. They say that guy was just mowing the lawn or whatever it was the day before. Then all of a sudden, when he's caught, he's coming into court. This guy's like barely able to walk. He's in some sort of wheelchair. Damn, bro. They say he was even. I thought neighbors say he was riding his motorcycle around the day before. And then when he gets caught, he's like writhing and stuff. Wasn't that guy putting on a front? Ted Bundy, Richard Ramirez. That Ted Bundy thing is pretty. Oh, BTK. Yeah. Israel Keys. That one bothers the shit out of me. That was really disturbing. Gacy, that story was nuts. They still looking for bodies. They thought there was more bodies I thought it was like in a different building or different structure. And I thought they went and got the people to dig up, but I don't know if they found anything.
Which was killing people. Taking the lives of people. But for Ted Bundy, it took some time to gain that fame because as a serial killer, he'd kill someone.
Oh, the Green River Killer is a good one too. I think it's kind of slept on a little bit. I've listened to a couple of podcasts on that.
He'd kill someone else and he was getting away with it. It wasn't until he got caught that then he began to get famous. Again, going back to this world of true crime, the killers who get famous instantly are really the mass killers, the mass shooters, and we see tons of them in schools, like in the Parkland school shooting.
He has a pretty. I haven't watched it. His I never watched all of it. Nicholas Cruz. His interrogation looks kind of interesting, where he's pretending. Wasn't he like? What was the title? I forgot from that video I saw. He's pretending to be crazy or something like that.
This guy got very famous very quickly, and the reason is because when something happens like that, when you have a young person who acts out and takes the lives of classmates, and everyone has one question: why? Why would they do it? And then members of the media, like me and others, dig into the lives of these killers,
Charles
and
Manson.
then they become famous or infamous because we find out every fact trying to answer that question, why?
Oh, the pig farmer guy. Wait, are you talking about the guy that fed people to the pigs? Is that the one? I forgot. I don't know his name. That story was creepy as hell too. And there was somebody that got away, right? I forgot how the story went. I thought, wasn't there somebody that like walked into the barn or something like that, and they saw all this stuff going on in there? Like I don't know, what was that for a movie? I'm pretty sure there was one. There was this guy had this pig farm, and he would do these things to these women, I guess, and they were like, I guess, prostitutes. And then Robert Pinkton, and then he feed them to the pigs. And wait, wasn't he taking the pigs then, and then like, or wasn't he feeding the people? Like he would put the people through the machine or whatever it was, and then sell the meat, the human meat or something like that, to the market, the local markets. Cheeky, all right, Cheeky. After I play this, Cheeky, I feel like you need to be a channel, like a regular person that calls in, because it's always a good call. All right, so I'm gonna finish playing this, and then we can talk about the pig guy.
But I want you to think about this. What if the answer to that question as to why they did it is for the fame itself? That's the case with the Oxford school shooter who was seeking fame. The Oxford school shooter in Michigan is enjoying all of this notoriety. And he got it all because of what he did inside that school that day. And I'm saying he did it because they're alleging, legal insanity. They're not saying he didn't do it. They're saying he was mentally ill at the time that he did do it, that he was legally insane. But the answer to that question, why, what motivated him, was the fame itself.
No bacon.
And as a result of that, in the trial of his parents, who've also been accused in the deaths of those people inside the school, They've been implicated. They have their own case. In that case, prosecutors, because they know that the Oxford school shooter is loving the attention, loving the notoriety, loving the fame, they're refusing, absolutely refusing to use his name inside the courtroom in the trial of the Oxford school shooters.
Did he want the fame, this guy? Ethan?
Parents. Now, for those of you who don't know,
it didn't seem like it to me. This guy seemed really troubled, but I don't know. Did he like, I mean, he's getting, in that last thing that we saw, the last detention hearing or whatever they want to call it, the Ethan had, he's been getting emails from people. He has access. I don't know what email they're sending the stuff to him, but they're communications that are happening, I guess, with regular people.
Know their story. Take a listen.
The deputies took a suspect into custody within 5 minutes of the original 911 call. They recovered a handgun from the suspect. The suspect fired multiple shots. There's multiple victims.
I was basically in the fetal position, shaking, because I was.
So he loved his fan mail. So he is getting enjoyment out of it, I guess, huh? I don't know. Well, I guess that's the perks of being in the adult thing, or could they still email in the juvenile place? Jailmates. Doesn't he even get like a laptop? I'm starting to get like flashbacks now, right? He has like a laptop, he has video games, all kinds of stuff.
Scared. It was very scary, but like we were trying not to panic.
It's just crazy because like people always say like it's never going to happen to them, and the fact that it happened to two people that I really care about, like it's just really hard.
15-year-old Ethan Crumbley accused of shooting and killing 4 classmates and injuring 7 others at Oxford High School.
While the shooter was the one who entered the high school and pulled the trigger, there are other individuals who contributed to the events on November 30th, and it's my intention to hold them accountable as well. Based on the information and evidence I have received, today I am announcing charges against the shooter's parents, Jennifer and James Crumbley.
Oh, DC Snipers was an interesting one. I remember that when that whole situation was going on, just like the tense and just everybody just stressing out and just freaked out. What's going to be the next target?
We have, in fact, taken into custody without incident James and Jennifer.
Or that, and then that reminds me of the other guy, the police officer that went rogue, wasn't in California? I forget his name too. And he went on the shooting spree, right? How many people did he kill? And so eventually they followed him to like this cabin or something like that. That guy was holding out.
Crumbley, the fugitives involved in the Oxford incident.
In Ethan's journal, which was provided in discovery, he explicitly states, and I quote, that he has to find where his dad hid the firearm.
The evidence will show that Ethan Crumbley was gravely troubled. He was fascinated with firearms. He was violent. He displayed terrifying tendencies and behaviors, and he literally sketched out what he had planned to do in his journal and his drawings. It was a negligence on the part of these defendants and their failure to perform the duties of their parents far precedes November the 30th.
Okay, let's get back now to this whole
Chris. I remember when that was happening. That was crazy.
Whole issue of their son, right? His name, his fame. Take a listen to what the prosecutor said in court about all of that.
We're not going to give him the fame that he sought, and we're certainly not going to contribute to any potential shooter in the future.
And I get it. And here's the real headline to all of this, is that the judge agrees. The judge agrees. The name of the Oxford school shooter will not be permitted in the trial of his parents. Did you hear me? This is extremely unusual, but I understand it. The judge will not permit the name of the Oxford school shooter to be used in the trial of his parents. Let's get back to the why of it, because there is a backstory to all this. I'm going to show you a clip from a hearing for the Oxford school shooter himself, the student, their son. Take a listen.
And his behaviors since his incarceration have not changed. They've continued to demonstrate that he hasn't altered his way of thinking. His request on December 17th, you'll see in the exhibits from the jail, his request that how do I get my fan mail, my hate mail, and my commissary? He knows
he did
that he's going to have people who admire him and people who hate him alike, and he wants that notoriety. He also takes time to mention to some of his fans out there, my next court date is February 22nd. Maybe you can watch it on TV. This is what he wants. He wants to be noticed. He wants us to relish in his behaviors. And if he is given the opportunity to converse one-on-one with little to no supervision, because we won't have these in writing, when he's at Children's Village, when he's talking to another juvenile in the corner of the gym, when he's talking with them at the lunch table. And that should scare all of us, and I know it scares me.
So he's going to have his own trial. Tonight we're talking about the trial of his parents, where because of what you just heard, his name will not be permitted to be used in that trial. Let's talk about this. Let's bring in a think tank. Joining us.
I had a couple of messages too from people asking me about Discord. I didn't realize yesterday that one of the server boosts dropped, so I had to update it to have the custom link. And I didn't realize that the link still wasn't active, so I just activated it now. So if you're interested, if you want to come by Discord, you can come hang out. It's pretty chill. Most of the time, there's really no drama there. I try to keep drama out of it. But yeah, if people are interested in it, you can check that out. I just fixed the link, so it's been down for like 24 hours, something like that.
This tonight in Atlanta, Georgia, criminal defense attorney Eklund Mercy. In Los Angeles, California, former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani. And in Phoenix, Arizona, the attorney who represented Jodi Arias and the author of the book series, Trapped with Ms. Arias. Please check it out. Kirk Nurmi is with us. Great to see everyone. Eklund Mercy, you've got a trial of a mother and father who've been implicated for the shootings that were done by their son, yet their son's name cannot be used in their trial. You can refer to him as the shooter if you want.
I can't. Like, especially when the reason why they have the charges is because of the son. We need the son's name. The jury should be privy to all the information so their attorneys can provide a competent and zealous defense. Unfortunately, although, yes, we can't, it's kind of ironic that they're trying to really control the outcome. However, they're also basically trying to ask the parents to control the outcome of their son. Parents don't know. Unfortunately, we have, as a defense attorney, I have seen parents who have no idea what their children are up to, who have no idea what type of psychological issues that they're going through, and would not even be able to understand or really just anticipate a murder or a shooting or things like that. So to put all that burden on parents to just know what your children is thinking and what they're capable of at all times, I think it's unfair. I really do. And I don't, and I think that if they're going to proceed with, charges, that the parents be able to provide a competent and zealous defense, and not being able to mention the name is a problem.
I was kind of thinking that too. I'm trying to fix the link. You guys let me know. Does this thing work? It says invite URL. Yeah. You guys let me know, whoever's, I don't know, somebody told me it's not working. And Mickey, if you're out there, I DM'd you. I don't know. I lost your number. I'm a mess. If you could DM me on Discord and I'll call you. So we can talk about Pinkerton.
Nima Rahmani, the obvious place for these parents to point the finger is at their own son. Can't say his name, though.
Vinny, brace yourself, because I agree with Eklund. I understand the public policy reasons. The district attorney, state attorney, is not naming Ethan Crumbley. They don't want to give him notoriety. And frankly, they want the case to be about the parents, right? They don't want them pointing the finger at someone else, someone more culpable, someone who actually pulled the trigger. But this is fundamental to their defense. They're obviously going to blame one another. That's why they got a separate counsel appointed. That should have happened weeks ago, if not months ago. But they should absolutely be able to blame their son. This is a case that will.
Well, they can blame him. They
litigated.
can just call him son. They could call him shooter. They can call him killer.
But there's no legal basis not to name the most obvious person who killed these individuals. But don't get me wrong, the parents are responsible. They should be prosecuted. But Vinny, you and I know that this case is going to go up on appeal. The Second Amendment folks, the gun lobby, they're going to litigate this the whole way. This may end up before the Supreme Court. This is a case of novel. We're going to make law here. And to create another appellate issue unnecessarily, I don't agree with what the trial judge did here. Eklund, you're right.
Whoa, Kirk Nurmi.
Okay. Let's do a little poll while I figure out what the hell's going on with this link. What do you guys think about this whole situation? Let's see. Ethan Crumbley. Let's put EC. Should EC's name be allowed during trial? It kind of, it sounds a little ridiculous, I don't know. Everybody knows who he is now. It's already kind of... All right, let me try this too with the link. On my way. Oh, and I got to get Dreadhead. Guys, I laughed at your super chat. Okay, I think this is it. I think I fixed it. Let me see. There we go, and I got Cheeky. Thank you, Cheeky.
Well, how can I follow Nima agreeing with Eklund? But yeah, ultimately, they're both right, because the Sixth Amendment right is an individual right. It's owned by each and every one of the individuals. It's not affected by any relative of yours and what they may or may not be seeking at trial. So if it infringes upon the Sixth Amendment right, you are going to have an appellate issue. I can envision a scenario when you're talking about selecting a jury and you have to say their son and you don't mention the name. What about if these parents want to testify at trial and the theory is that they're disconnected from their son? So instead of lovingly refer to him by his name, they're forced to say our son or something generic or the shooter or what have you. So there is no legal reasoning behind this. I certainly understand what you laid out and some of the reasons why we want to prevent people from seeking fame and committing these type of crimes. But now that we're here, the Sixth Amendment attaches to both these parents, and they should be able to actualize their rights fully. And any restrictions on that, to me, seem ripe, as Nima said, for appellate issue should there be a conviction in this case.
All right, folks, we are continuing to track this story, this trial as it moves forward. It's, again, as everyone here on the think tank is talking about tonight, there are a lot of issues here. It's a novel case. We've never seen anything like it before, and I've never seen a ruling like this ever before either. We're still waiting to get the written order from the judge on this issue. So we've got that. What we're going to do, think tank with us the whole hour. When we come back.
Okay, so let me call. People say, let's see. People, 80% said yes. I'm gonna let this thing up there. We'll call Cheeky too. Mickey. I see the invite link being used, but I'm gonna have to do some tests later after the stream. Figure it out. Okay, let's call. Boom. Sounds right. Hey.
Hello.
How you doing?
What is going on?
There
I'm
you go. You
good,
sound a lot better. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for calling in. You tell stories so good. And so when I saw you talk about Robert Pinkton, I was like, oh, yes. Let's talk about it a little bit.
So it wasn't just him, allegedly.
This is his brother, right?
They were born on a farm. They inherited the farm from their parents after they died. And it was called, I believe, the Pink Piggy Palace, something along the lines of that. And they used to host like raves, drugs, prostitutes, all kind of crazy shit goes on down at the farm. So that's when he decides that he wants to start offering the prostitutes. And how he ended up getting caught was when they finally managed to go to the farm, they found a slew of IDs, purses, all kind of personal effects of females. And they're like, what's going on? It is true that he did feed the bodies to the pigs. Then they would go ahead and butcher the pigs and go ahead and sell the meat to the local market. It was so bad in that town that when all of this broke, the consumers, of course, of the meat product, were literally calling the FDA to be like, bruh, we purchased our meat from this area. Is it a possibility that we can have some type of disease? It was that bad that the FDA actually had to send out a message to say, look, essentially, you can consume a little bit of human meat, but it's nothing detrimental that's going to happen to your health. The reasoning, apparently, they put a UC in the cell with him, and that's where he confessed to all the crimes. And the biggest, I guess, quote that most people remember from that particular quote-unquote sting is the fact that he was trying to make it to 50 victims, and I think he was just shy of it to maybe somewhere around like the 40, 45 mark.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and he was torturing them like ice picks and all kind of crazy stuff, you know, and you know, I'm not one to speak of people who choose to make their money the way they choose to do so. If you are a lady of the night or know one, then do what you do, boo. But, of course, they would kind of agree to some of these weird sexual activities. So, sure, I like it a little rough. If you're going to pay me this, you could be a little rougher. And that's essentially how he would get them in the position of vulnerability of being handcuffed and all this other stuff. Apparently, one girl that got away, it happened in the middle of one of these raves. He had her like in the basement while the rave was going on, and he shot her up with drugs, and then like just some horrible graphic stuff to her nipples. It's a crazy story. Yes. So yes, they did. And if anybody out there likes to watch Criminal Minds like I do, they actually did an episode kind of based on this, where it was two brothers. One was like bedridden, and his brother was the one who was actually kidnapping homeless people off the streets and dumping them into the pig pen and having the bodies be eaten. And apparently, I guess pig pens, once people hear that pigs will eat anything, a lot of people try and use this method because there's another case where a lady, she had a handyman living on her property, and he was kind of a nomad, and his family reported him missing. And when they went to her property, they saw bits and pieces of him in the pig pen. And she was trying to say that she shot him in self-defense and that she wanted to put him out the misery, so she dumped him in the pig pen and had the pigs finish the job off. So apparently it's very, very frequent that people try and like to use pigs to do their extra dirty work.
Wow.
Yeah, so kind of weird. Why do I know these things? I do not know. But stories like this just intrigue me.
Yeah, there's even a recent one.
It's very weird. I remember you were talking about the guy in California. I believe his name was Charles. He was like an ex-Marine or ex-Army vet, and they ended up holding him hostage in the cabin, and he ended up setting it on fire, I think, with himself in it before shooting himself. That case, and then the DC sniper case actually happened because I'm actually a native of that general area. It was a really bad situation because one of the people who ended up getting shot at the gas station that's right next to a Shoney's, that was like me, my dad, and my brother's spot that we would go to every Saturday. So when that stuff happened, I was like, oh my God. So it's a lot. Just like people were saying, like Israel Keys. Israel Keys is a really crazy case for those who don't know about that.
That bothered me. Wasn't one of the last ones? Is that the guy that like tried to kill two girls at the same time?
Cases. He had kill kits throughout the nation. He's the one who.
There was one survivor though. Wasn't there like one survivor? I think, and there was a little girl. I thought. I don't know if it's the same guy.
I don't know. Israel Keys was the one who had the killer kits all across America. He kidnapped the girl from the coffee house in, I want to say it was Alaska, and they had the videotape. His case, he was so diabolical that he had killed the girl, then kind of posed her in a way to make it look like she was still alive to send a ransom notice to her parents. But little did they know, in that picture, she was already dead, but he made her up to look alive. Israel Keys is just very he's very diabolical, and I hate to say it, but he's definitely one of my favorite serial killers, along with Anthony Sowell. And that one's kind of low key. I don't think a lot of people know about that. But that's the Cleveland Strangler, who was out in Ohio. He had killed about 16, possibly 17 prostitutes. He was a black serial killer, so that's another thing, because, you know, that quote unquote, I guess, doesn't happen too often. But he was a black serial killer. He had a big house, and some women got away. If you get on YouTube, there's a documentary called Unseen that tells you the whole story about it. And there's actual video footage of one of his victims literally jumping from the third story, butt naked, trying to get away from this man before he killed her. Yeah, so Anthony Sowell, Sowell, I believe.
Damn. All right, well, thank you.
Why I know all this is just so weird. I'm like an encyclopedia. I can spit this stuff out for you. That's why I was like, hey, if there's ever an old case and you're like, what's going on? Give me a call. I guarantee you I probably know about it.
Wow.
All right. Well, I must get back to work because I am at work, but you are very welcome, and I will continue listening to your stream.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Bye, Mel.
Bye. All right. That was nice. Amazing. Israel Keys is not the person I'm thinking about. They did that to a kid. I forgot. He did kill kids, but there's somebody else I was thinking of. Can't remember the name. There was this woman. There's several stories, but this one here, I don't want to play a video that I found of the pig guy, jailhouse confession. But it says transgender farmer veteran killed 2 employees, fed bodies to pigs. I do not value human life very much. A killer of 2 now serving a sentence in a woman's prison said in a taped confession, my feeling is the only thing wrong with the planet is there's people on it. It's not for us. All the other animals, even dodo birds would be here. Stephen Buchanan of California, male veteran, war veteran, began identifying as a woman named Susan. Following an honorable discharge from the Navy, he enjoyed a successful engineering career before 1991 when he retired on a 20-acre rural property he purchased in Wilmer, Oregon. Not that interesting. Well, there's a couple of them. And then this one, the old one too. Boy was tortured. Let's see, tortured. Oh, wow. I never heard of this. Let's just play the video.
I think we've learned everything about who failed Adrian Jones. A lawsuit filed by the little boy's family reveals more allegations. In 2015, detectives found the 7-year-old's remains in a livestock pen on this property in Wyandotte County, where he lived with his eventual killers, his father and stepmom. The lawsuit names several Missouri social workers, a therapist of Adrian's, and the Kansas Department for Children and Families, among others. The lawsuit states Kansas DCF didn't do enough to protect Adrian from his father, despite Adrian's claims that both parents were abusing him. The documents also show after the family moved to Missouri in 2012, on several occasions, social workers there noted bruises and markings on Adrian's body, but didn't seek medical experts' opinions. After several hotline calls, one social worker did start in-home services, but the Joneses eventually stopped cooperating. The case in Missouri was closed. 2 years later, Adrian was sent to Spofford, a mental health hospital. According to documents, social workers stated in email to each other that Adrian's parents abandoned him and wouldn't participate in his care. Still, Adrian was eventually sent back to live with his dad and stepmom. The family then moved back to Kansas. The family's attorneys say DCF then received hotline calls that pictures of Adrian's abuse were posted on his stepmom's Facebook page. The suit claims no one followed up on the calls.
That's crazy. And at Facebook's, aren't they always censoring people and putting people in the jail? What were they called? Lock them in, the internet jail. All this censorship, all this blocking and demonetization and removal and banning, but you can post abuse pictures and abuse children, and apparently it's like, we're just not gonna do nothing. And social workers just didn't do nothing. Amazing. I never heard of this story, but it's pretty horrible. I never heard of this kid before. Jesus, look at the face on that. My God. Ugh. Let's listen to, I don't know what this is, a little portion of this. This is from the Mob Reporter. Let's see. After his arrest in 2002, an undercover police officer posing as an inmate was placed in a cell. That's what Mickey was talking about. Pinkton bragged he was a legend who killed 49 women and wanted to kill one more to make it even, but was sloppy at the end. Thank you, Michelle, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Oh, I gotta read. Go ahead. I get you. I get you.
What have they done? No. No purposes. So what do you got? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What? Yeah. Come on, buddy. Fucking son. Okay, I know what's up. You fucking pick a fucking missing person. So we are fucking cutting me in there. Look at the fucking guys are right. I find the best way to fucking dispose of something is fucking take it in the ocean. Oh, really? Oh, fuck. You know what the fucking ocean is at this? Ain't much left.
It's interesting how the cop is like trying to befriend him, but also, you know, obviously extract information. He's just like, oh yeah, the best way to get rid of the body is the ocean, in hopes that maybe this guy will like, well, maybe you'll offer a better way or something, you know? The way. The way.
No.
I wonder what kind of cameras they had back then in the day. Like back in the day, could you even hide this shit? Is it just obvious? Is there just like blaring big device just, and they have to manually with a controller, like joystick, turn this thing? Or was it actually, how long ago was this? This is back in the day. I mean, it looks really old, so I don't know. 2002, is that what it says there?
I said it fucking pretty good. Hey? Too much fucking left. Can't stop it. Can you stop me? Really?
Thank you, Brandy.
See? Fucking God, fucking ridiculous. Fucking.
Karen, thank you.
That's pretty good in there. That's fucking pretty good. I can never do something.
A light in the ceiling, maybe. I don't know.
But the problem, they have bigger than me. Doesn't make sense.
Sally!
No shit. Well, they got fucking purse, you know? They got no purse.
This is the pig guy, yeah. Yeah, this is the pig guy, guys.
Fucking trading with characters. They didn't do you. Don't fucking say anything. I can let things slide.
Robert Pinkton.
want to get bail, like I said, that's looking up to the judge, right?
So what I should have asked Mickey what happened to his brother. Did he get? He never got charged or whatever, or did he die? Didn't he die of cancer or something? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, this is alive.
No shit. They what? They don't know what to say. You fucking give it a good push. Make things disappear.
Thank you, A-Hope. Appreciate the super chat.
That's what I was slapping you for. Yeah. Make a big battle. Make the big 5 cents. That's fuck. Fuck 5-0. Yeah. Best part. I fucking one.
How many of those? Wouldn't tell you. Wouldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Talk about half. Probably 1/4. Talking about all of them. No. You gotta get 40 years old. And that's all it is. I'm gonna have people. The other half I love it. So the other was eating. They can't even put a name to it.
How the fuck is that off here? That helps you?
Yeah.
Right? That looks good on you.
But I think we're gonna name them. I think they're gonna fucking fuck you up on us. I think they're gonna go to the cross. But if that happens, there's about 15 other people gonna go down.
What?
It's gonna go down.
Yeah.
15 other people.
I said they're my friends.
Okay, between me and you, man. Fuck, you know what? Yeah, fuck, you gotta do it for yourself.
I thought they were my friends.
Yeah. Fucking where's the
I've
world?
seen the interview.
No shit.
I've seen the interviews about the video. And he says,
Hey, Sheila, thank you.
you feel the surgery stuff with antifreeze, and you check yourself, and you're dead in better than 10 minutes. He says in the interview, everything else.
Oh, that's crazy. Tell me. What's going on? Yeah, I'm your friend.
Yeah, I mean, also this, probably got a lot of stuff on me.
No shit.
That's why it's part of it. That's only part of it.
Joey, what's up? Thanks, man. Thank you.
Everybody says, they beat the piss out of me. And he said, if I didn't copy the stuff that I stole in one day, I'll be hanging to the barn upside down. He says, right on tape. He says, I'm coming back to Vancouver right now to testify.
No shit.
Don't know. This guy would have been screwed if he was interrogating Stephen McDaniels. Like, I mean, he's pretending to be a friend of his, but Stephen wouldn't give him nothing, man. I don't know.
Doesn't that just kick in the ass now?
But it pisses me off. Fucking horrible. You know, it pisses me right off. I should have promised. You're less good on nothing, but nothing otherwise. Oh, man.
I won't fucking piss you off now.
One more, we can eat. Bigger than the ladies, bigger than the ones in the States.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, fucking like
This is already about 42.
Yeah, is it?
Oh, Texas. You haven't seen that stream, you gotta check out that stream. You guys haven't seen that? You gotta go check it. It's crazy. Sleeping. Resting. What are you doing?
So close.
Yeah.
Pig farm dude. Yeah. He's in his underwear. Yeah, the chair. It feels like it. Feels like it's long, but way before that. Yeah, no, he was apprehended in 2002, February 22nd, 2002. The pig farm killer, or otherwise known as the butcher. The pig farm killer. I guess we're just watching his sleep now. So this was the day after.
They want me to get out of the bath. I want to see the judge. See what itchy.
So what is that?
Yeah, we had a bath yesterday because I was working yesterday.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I want a bath, not a shower. And he says, you was the chief today. Well, I was the chief. That's a great old durable.
He's still alive. In 2018, it says he was transferred to the Port of Cartier Institution of Quebec, a maximum security penitentiary.
Well, she being GP overnight.
Fucking, you're right.
They're still digging up bodies in 2010 when I lived nearby. Oh, they were still digging up bodies. Wow. Holy crap. Dylan Millard is one of the ones that I was thinking of. I've seen his name pop when I was looking at like interrogations and stuff like that, because I want to do that again sometime. We could watch like a interesting one. That was one of the names I came across. That's it. And we're gonna keep watching this guy sleeping. So yeah, thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you guys for joining. Dreadhead says, Ick, thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Dreadhead again says, me encanta ver tu transmisiones todo el tiempo a veces. Thank you. Dreadhead says, I guess, likes to see the chat all the time sometimes. Michelle, thank you so much for the super chat. Karen, thanks for bringing light and attention to all these cases. Thank you. Brandy, thank you so much. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Thank you for riding through. I always remember you for that time where like the the one time where we were getting flooded on the live stream and we kept blocking the accounts, and then you were like, oh, I'm just gonna keep donating every time you send a message, and then you just kept doing it. That was wild. That was funny as hell. Because it was a good stream, but they were interrupting it. Sally, thank you for the membership. Thank you for being a member for 5 months. Amazing. You're doing a great job, Mel. Some really interesting lives lately. Thank you. Joey, thank you for becoming a member. A-Hope, thank you for the super chat. Sheila, thank you. I want to say quickly to thank you, Leslie, for the Cash App. Timothy. Oh, that was just this morning. Thank you, Timothy. And Kimberly, Cynthia, Vida. Thank you for that. Gracias. And if it lets me log in without giving me trouble. I have all the security stuff, double authentication, and you got to put in the pictures, and then you got to like confirm via email, text, and then you got to all this BS. Oh. Okay. And then, yeah, all this stuff. Let me do this real quick. I just want to make sure I say thank you to these people. As far as today, I'm gonna chop up the conversation I had with Naomi's sister yesterday. I'm gonna try to shorten it up a little bit, and I'm gonna post it on Facebook. I might post it on YouTube. Depends. I think everybody that wanted to see it on YouTube probably saw it yesterday. I mean, I could clip it, but. And thank you, Winters, for the PayPal, and Sandra. Thank you so much, and Jennifer. Appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good morning, good day, man. We might be back later. I don't know. Depending on what happens, we could be back later. This week is spring break for Maddie too, but it's almost over. Thank you, Money. Appreciate that. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna head out for now, man. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Peace.